Thursday morning. I'm Ted with Rockin BBQ coming at you from my backyard in Montgomery, Texas, home of the great state of Texas state flag, the birthplace of our great state of Texas state flag. How's everybody doing today? We're back for another live cook. As you can see, I'm set up in front of my table, which means I'm going to get something ready. Behind me is the expert grill, and she's already set up, ready for that cook. We are going to be doing some beef back ribs, and we're going to be doing a snake method on the expert grill. The last time I cooked them, we did them in Roxanne, my offset smoker. They always come out fantastic out of that. I just want to see how it's going to come out using the snake method in my little expert grill. By the way, she doesn't have a name yet. Come on, guys, help me out here. Let's come up with a name for my little expert grill. I've only had her for a couple of months. She replaced my old one that I had for 5 years. The charcoal tray finally rusted out on it after hundreds of cooks. So that's why I got another one. I mean, it lasted for 5 years for a $100 grill. That's not bad at all. So we're doing another cook in it. We're doing a snake method in the expert grill, and we're going to be cooking some really nice cowboy cut beef back ribs. We got them in the fridge, cooling down. We'll bring them out here once we get that fire started, and we're going to get those seasoned up. We'll let them sit for 20 minutes to absorb that seasoning, let that salt activate and start pulling the moisture out to the surface. That'll help us get a better smoke ring, along with that pepper. That pepper helps with that bark. We are going to be spritzing it. Every time I check it, I'll give it a little bit of a spritz with the apple cider vinegar. I expect them to dry out a little bit, but the main reason for spritzing is it helps build the bark. So we will be spritzing them periodically, and I'm going to be using apple cider vinegar. What's up, babe? Somebody say something? Huh?
No.
What's up?
Nothing.
Okay. But anyways, we've got that grill ready to go. Charcoal's already set up in the snake method. We've got the wood chunks in place. I have a water pan in there. By suggestion, somebody said that I should put the water pan down inside there, inside the snake in there. So I'm trying that this time and see how it works out. To me, it seems like it'll do a pretty good deal. Now I do have 2 racks of those beef back ribs, and they are pretty nice. Okay, so if you guys are ready, I'm going to move you guys over here so y'all can see what's going on. Now, after we get this going, I've still got to clean my smoker out from yesterday's cook. So after we get this 2 racks of ribs going, we're going to go ahead and get that smoker cleaned out. We'll do that live too. But there we go. Can you see everything? Is that a good shot? There we go. How's everybody doing this morning? But anyways, we're going to fire it up. You're going to be doing chuck roast tomorrow on the offset. Very cool. I haven't done a chuck roast in a while. The last time I did a chuck roast, actually it was an Angus. It was a really nice roast from Nolan Ryan, and we made some badass Italian sandwiches out of it. Really good, wasn't it, babe?
Mm-hmm.
Those things were awesome. Now, the pepperoncinis that we used, I didn't realize that they were a medium heat, and they were a little spicy. So you got to be careful of that when you're selecting the jar of peppers to pour in that beef when you're making an Italian sandwich. Make sure they're mild if you got a family that can't really handle the spice, because they were kind of spicy even for me. And but they were good, don't get me wrong, and everybody still ate them. It's just that people had a problem with the spiciness. Big Fix, how's it going, man? Thank you for the heart me. Thank you so much, man. Thank you very much. Good morning, Lugnut. We're doing that live cook just like we promised. I got it all set up. We got the snake method set up. I'm using B&B charcoal. This is briquettes. The reason why I like B&B is because they're all natural. They're not made with any artificial fillers, synthetic fillers. They're made with a natural vegetable binder. Really good. They don't have any mined coal like Kingsford and Royal Oak do. They're all natural. This is all wood briquettes, and the only binders that they have in them is a vegetable-based binder. So they're absolutely 100% organic, all natural briquettes. So they're the real deal. They're not fake. They're going to give you great flavor. They burn a really good long time. I like the way B&B works, and they give you really good consistent temperatures. Not only that, but they stack really nicely. Yeah, exactly. It is a nicely built snake there, Lugnut. It is. It just takes a few minutes to do too. It's not hard to do. I've got the lower stack, and then I have one layer on top of it, and then I put my wood chunks on there. Some people say that you don't need that much wood. I completely disagree, and here's why I disagree. You want to see the bag? B&B, there it is. All natural briquettes. There you go. That's all I use. I don't use anything else. But you can always look up B&B and you can see what they have in them. No problem there, you know. You can look up Royal Oak. You can look up Kingsford. And you'll see that those are all synthetic. They're crap. They're garbage briquettes. If you want something good, you need to find all natural briquettes. Something like Fogo, B&B, Cowboy Brand, or Jealous Devil. Those are the biggest names. But anyways, any tips? What are you looking for tips on, Lejean? What I'm fixing to do is start a fire, but we'll worry about tips in a minute. We got to get this fire started, and then I've got to get those ribs seasoned up. Now I'm going to start it on one end. This is the snake method. You start it on the end, and it burns very slowly around, a couple of briquettes at a time. Once it gets so far, it'll reach a temperature. I'm going to adjust my air vents accordingly in order to maintain the temperature we want once we reach it. It'll take about an hour and a half or so to get there. From what I've experienced so far, every time we've done the snake method, it takes about an hour and a half to 2 hours for it to get to the target temperature, whatever that may be. In hours today, after that hour and a half or 2 hours or so, it's going to be 250 degrees. Once we get there, I will adjust the air vents in order to maintain that temperature, but I'm going to start them wide open so that it has good airflow to help it reach those temperatures. But in order to get there, first we have to start a fire. So let's go ahead and get that done.
You're going to lower the...
We'll lower that after we get it started. Yeah. Here we go. Hold on. Now to get it started, I'm using all natural fire starters. These are beeswax domes, and this is tumbleweeds. Both of them use beeswax. There's no petroleum products in either one of these fire starters. I always do my research whenever I'm buying stuff. I don't like synthetic binders like in charcoal, and I don't like petroleum products that you start fires with because those are toxic. And they can put stuff in your food that's not good for you, and carcinogens. You're already looking at carcinogens enough as it is in using charcoal and wood to cook with. You don't want to add it by putting synthetic stuff in your cook as well. And you certainly don't want to put poison like a petroleum starter like lighter fluid in your cook. If you're going to use just I like to use lump charcoal. Whenever I'm doing that, I'm going to start it in a chimney, and I'm going to use the same fire starters. Never do I ever use lighter fluid to start a fire. That's not a good thing to do. It can make you sick. It gets in your food, you know, just not a good thing. This is going to get that fire going really good. It'll start the end here, get those first few charcoals lit up, and they'll slowly start burning around. And this should be enough for about a 5 or 6 hour cook. We shall see, and that's what I'm thinking, that this cook might be 5 to 6 hours at the most once we reach 250. These are beef back ribs, so we'll see. We got that thing started, and we're going to let that get burning.
I have one of those bills, and it really does take a while to regulate. Yeah, it takes
It not really doesn't, it doesn't take a while. It takes a little bit to figure it out, but once you do, they're easy to regulate. I don't have a problem with mine. This is the second one I've had. The first one I had for 5 years. It took me a little bit to learn it, but that's the whole deal. Once you learn your grill and your smoker and you figure it out, it becomes easier to use and regulate. So there you go. Now we're going to get back over here. And my beautiful wife, my pretty little assistant, is going to go inside and get me some ribs to get open. Alrighty. All right, guys. And I got y'all guys aimed at my thing here. Some comments in this live were filtered out. Just hit the decline. Okay. Some comments in this live were filtered to protect the community's experience. Somebody said something that the administrators or the censors didn't like. So try not to do that. It ain't going to do you any good. I don't care what you say, but apparently TikTok and YouTube do. Yeah, I love that little cooker, man. It's a good one, little lug nut. I mean, this is the second one I've had. I had the first one for 5 years, and I cooked in it hundreds of times. It had hundreds of cooks in it. The fire tray finally rusted away, so I had to get a new one. So I bought that one. As a matter of fact, I've got an assembly video on this grill in my YouTube, the full assembly. It's a 26-minute video, but it's 100% the full, complete assembly of this thing from beginning to end on that little grill right there. And there we go. Here's our beef back ribs. Look at them bad boys. Those are some pretty ribs, man. Those are nice looking ribs. Let me get some gloves on. These things were not expensive. I'm talking about $14.50 for this rack and $13.33 for that rack. And they're pretty nice, man. A pretty good size rack. This is beef backs. Think about that for a second. We're talking about less than $30 for, I don't know, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ribs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ribs. So that's 15 ribs, and it was like just under $30 for 15 ribs. You buy some dino ribs, and you get 3 ribs for $70. These are going to give you some nice beef. It's going to be nice and thick. They're not chumpy on the meat on these things. They may not look as big as a dino rib, but once that thing starts, once you start getting drawback on that bone, that meat bunches up on there and it gets pretty dadgum thick, and they come out really juicy.
What is your favorite kind of ribs?
I like these better than I do dino ribs, mainly because they're inexpensive. You get just as good a bite of meat when it's time. They're juicy. You get a nice smoke ring. They're flavorful. They're good ribs. I mean, beef ribs in general, I like beef ribs. But I like these better than I do dino ribs, simply because they save you a shitload of money and you get a lot more food.
Video for me.
Sure.
Okay.
All right. We're going to go ahead and get these opened up, and then we're going to get them seasoned up. After I get them seasoned, I'm going to get my 10 Spike Pro probes in there, one in each one. Then I'm going to get these, we're going to let them sit for 20 minutes to absorb the seasoning, for that salt to activate and for that juice to start pulling to the outside. Once it gets there after 20 minutes, that snake should be well on its way to started. We're going to get them in there, we're going to close it up, and we're going to get them smoking. Let's get started.
He can't answer your questions right now, guys, because I'm not looking at the cell phone. I'm videoing, so
Yeah.
Save your questions when he's done, please.
That's a
Or-
couple of really nice beefy beef back ribs. Look at that. Okay, there's two things I'm not gonna do. Actually, three. We're gonna say three things I'm not gonna do. Number one, I'm not gonna take the juice off of it. I don't wash my meat. The reason why is because that juice, that's not blood. Number one, it's perfectly safe. Number two, and number three, it's myoglobin, and myoglobin reacts with smoke, the nitrogen oxide in the smoke, and that's what helps build your smoke ring. Not only that, but that is the best natural binder. The seasonings will stick better to this than they will anything, including mustard, mayonnaise, and ketchup. I don't use binders. That's another thing. I don't use those mustard, mayonnaise, and ketchup binders. Here's why. Because when you put that stuff on the outside of meat, what it's doing is it's putting like a film on there that prevents smoke penetration. You're not going to get as much smoke penetration when you use those outside binders. That means your smoke ring isn't going to develop as well. You're not going to get as good a smoke flavor. Now, granted, those binders do tend to give you a nicer bark, but that bark also tends to be more spongy and rubbery. With the natural myoglobin, when you're using that as your binder, you're going to get a nicer, crispier bark that doesn't wash away as easily. So those are the reasons I don't do that. There we go. So let's get started.
Did you are you taking the membrane?
No, I won't be removing the membrane. That's the other thing I won't be doing. With beef ribs especially, you don't take the membrane off at all, whether it's these or dino ribs. If you take those off, they have a real big tendency, even though they haven't reached 200 degrees internal to tenderness yet, of falling apart. So leave the membrane alone on beef ribs. Now on pork ribs, it's your choice whether you want to remove it, score it, or leave it on there. I like to score the membranes on my pork ribs, but on beef ribs, you don't touch that membrane. Leave it alone. It keeps them together during the cook.
I'm gonna video it one more time, babe. Okay. Okay, got it.
All right. Now, like my wife said earlier, I can't see your comments and I can't answer your questions because I'm here in front of the camera instead of behind it looking. And my wife is working to video this and make sure we capture all of this so we can make our videos. So we're not going to be able to answer your questions or comment back on your comments. So give us just a few minutes. We've got some things to do. We're going to flip these over.
Okay.
We're going to get them seasoned. You cut this little straggly piece off here. Don't worry about getting that. This one too. These things will just burn up in the cook. When you notice that stuff, get it off there. Everything else is pretty good on here. We're in good shape. All right. Now we're going to let these sit here for about 20 minutes to absorb that seasoning. This will allow that salt to activate.
Put that.
Here's my seasoning for y'all that are wondering. I've kind of adjusted it because my wife was finding it a little too salty. So what I'm doing now is I'm putting about 1.5 cups of coarse ground black pepper in it, and then about 3/4 cup of the kosher ground, the coarse ground kosher salt, and then I'll still put a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons each of ancho chili powder, onion powder, and garlic powder in it. Hopefully that'll help it with the saltiness. About half as much salt as black pepper, so that's what we've gone with. 1.5 cups of coarse ground black pepper, and about 3/4 cup of coarse ground kosher salt, and then 1 to 2 tablespoons each of onion powder, garlic powder, and ancho chili powder. And this tends to go really well with beef, but these are kind of small cuts, so you really don't want to put too much salt in it because it can get salty. But that should be really good. I'm going to go ahead and turn these on. This is my Temp Spike Pro. These are the leave-in probes that I'm going to be using to monitor the temperatures. It monitors both the ambient temperature, the cooking temperature on the outside of the meat, and then also the internal temperature of the meat. And these have like 3 different sensors in the internal probe, and then one on the external probe. So they keep a really good, accurate temperature. And so far, whenever I've compared them with what my Javelin Pro says, they're dead on the money pretty much. So I'm going to go ahead and use these.
Okay. Ready?
All right.
Okay.
All right, that should be good. I'm going to give this a little bit of an assistance so we can get that fire going. It's going to take a little bit for that to sit, let that seasoning sink in. All right, if you want to grab one of those fans and put them up here, keep the flies away from it while it sits there. I'm going to use my Master Blaster and help this fire out. Those things are glowing red.
Yeah, someone said, you need a binder, sir. And then Lejean answered him. He said binders create a film that decrease smoke penetration into the meat.
Yeah, I don't use binders, and besides that, meat has plenty of its own natural binder. It's called myoglobin. And that myoglobin is the best binder you can have. So whenever you take your meat out of the package, do not wash it off. Number one, it's perfectly safe. It's not going to make you or anyone else sick. That's why you cook meats to a specific internal temperature. Pork generally needs to go to at least 140 degrees internal, and poultry to 160 degrees internal to make it safe to eat. Beef doesn't really have a minimum or maximum safe internal temperature, and neither do most seafoods. I mean, you do eat seafood raw sometimes. You've heard of sushi and sashimi, right? And if you've ever heard of beef tartare, that means you can eat beef raw. And the same is true with lamb. You can eat that raw also.
No.
So there's certain things that you can eat without having to put fire to them, and they're still safe. But pork and poultry are not those two. It's best to cook them to a minimum internal temperature. And when you do, when you put them to heat, it's going to kill any biologic in that meat anyways. It's going to kill any germs or bacteria or any any bugs or anything that gets in it. So you don't have to worry about that. It's perfectly safe. That juice is not blood. It's myoglobin. Blood is hemoglobin. There's a huge difference. Number one, blood is very thick and it's very red. Myoglobin is clear and watery and it's pink in color. So there's a big difference in the two. Blood delivers oxygen to your cells in your body. Okay? Myoglobin absorbs that oxygen and delivers it to your muscles to give them energy. So they each have two different jobs, as well as transporting other nutrients, like your vitamins, your minerals, your cellulose, other things. They both do the same thing. One of them takes it throughout your body and delivers it. The other, once it gets there, absorbs it and puts it in your muscle to use as energy. So they have two different jobs, and myoglobin is perfectly safe. As a matter of fact, it's a very good thing to have in your meat, because it, number one, is the best binder you can use, period, because it actually reacts with the nitrogen oxide in the smoke, and that helps develop your smoke ring. It absorbs smoke better, gives you better smoke penetration, so you have more smoke flavor, and it'll help develop a nicer bark. So that's what it does. A binder is going to, if you wash your meat off, you're washing off that great binder, number one. Number two, you're forced to have to put on an outside binder like mustard or mayonnaise or ketchup. That's not a good binder. What it does is it coats your meat, and it's actually going to seal the meat off from that smoke. And it does not react with the smoke, the nitrogen oxide, to create your smoke ring, give you smoke absorption. It does help with the bark, but your bark is going to be a little bit more rubbery. It's not going to be as crispy and nice as it would with just the myoglobin. So those are reasons to not use a binder. And I never use binders. I never have, and I never will. And yes, I've done the experiments myself to see what would happen. I've taken 4 different cuts of meat, and I have done one side by side, same size, same seasoning in the same smoker, one with and one without a binder. In all 4 cases, I did find that the piece of meat that did not have the binder had much thicker smoke ring, better smoke penetration and smoke flavor, and a nicer, crisper bark. So it's true. Okay. You can do the test yourself if you don't believe me.
Okay, what's in your seasoning?
What's in my seasoning? It's salt and pepper, coarse ground kosher salt, coarse ground black pepper, ancho chili powder, onion powder, and garlic powder. Now, I've changed my ratio of salt to pepper. I put about 1.5 cups of the black pepper in there and about 3/4 of the cup of the salt, because with that kosher salt, it tends to be a little salty for my wife. So I changed the ratio for us. Now, you can do it however you want. And then I put a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons each of the ancho chili powder, onion powder, and garlic powder in it. And that gives me a really good seasoning.
Okay.
Goes great with beef. I'm going to go ahead and get this over there.
What are you grilling?
What are we grilling? These are beef back ribs. 2 really nice wraps. And we're going to be doing them snake method in my expert grill.
That's the beef back ribs, right?
Yep.
It's not a dino.
No, these are not dino ribs. They're beef backs.
We already cooked that with Roxanne, so now we're going to try for the first time.
Snake method.
Snake method. Oh, hold on. Let me bring this over there.
Okay. They've been sitting long enough, so it's time to go ahead and get those things into the grill.
He said he replaces salt to pink salt. That's good too.
You can use sea salt instead of kosher salt. That's a good idea. I just don't like using iodized salt because that stuff's not real good for you.
And it's not good for me.
Yeah. No problem. Grill master, no problem.
Okay.
German Shepherd ribs.
Yeah, it's a German.
Very cool. All right. Okay, I'm going to get those in there. Let me get some gloves on. You can see that charcoal is lit on the end right here, and it's burning pretty good. That's giving me a good start. Like I said, I've got the vents all the way open. That'll give me good airflow through them until that gets to a good temperature. It'll take a while. I'm thinking an hour and a half to 2 hours. The target temperature will be 250 degrees. And it usually takes an hour and a half to 2 hours to get there. So I'm not really worried about that. And it's that first hour and a half or 2 hours where those things will really get that smoke, and they'll get up to that 140 degrees internal. They'll get a nice little smoke ring in them. They should come out really good. So let's get these in here and get started.
Hold on. Can you move a little bit forward in the top? There you go. There. And then you'll lower the grate, right? You'll lower this one, right? Before we close it? Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
All right. Those things are cooking, man. Those things are cooking. Now, I'm going to do something else. Yep, it's that time. You guys know me. Yesterday I did another live cook. We did those pork burn-ins. Man, did they come out good. Those things were fabulous. And I used my offset. I used Roxanne. Now, how long are they going to cook? We're going to find out, Ernest. I can't tell you that. I don't know. I know I'm going to get them to 250 degrees. I know it's going to take a while to get there, the ambient cooking temperature. It doesn't happen right away. I know it'll take at least an hour and a half to 2 hours to get to that 250 degree cooking temperature. And we are going to check it in 2 hours once they get there. And I can keep track of the internal temperature on my TempSpike Pro. This is where we're at right now. Let me turn that light on so you can see. We're at 140 degrees ambient and 60 degrees internal on the white one. And the black one, we're at 105 and 63. So they're very close, 145 and 63. They're very close to the temperature. What is the snake method? Well, you saw it. It's whenever you line charcoal up, and you have to use briquettes for the snake method. Lump charcoal just doesn't work because it doesn't give you consistent temperatures, and you need consistent temperatures. So it's a good idea to find some all-natural briquettes, and I'm using B&B. And you line them up, you put a few wood chunks on there, and you light one end of it, and it burns very slowly around. And it really does maintain temperatures like a beast. Can I show you the inside? No, Dwayne, I can't. We just closed it up, and I need that temperature to build. It's got to build to 250 degrees. It's going to take an hour and a half to 2 hours to do that. And we're going to call it 10:30 is when we actually got it closed up and started. So it's going to be a while. But is that an Oklahoma Joe? No, that is not an Oklahoma Joe, Christian. Please don't insult my smoker like that. This is an Old Country Brazos. And we did a cook yesterday. We're fixing to get the smoke, cleaning it. So let me get some gloves on.
Is the mosquitoes eating you?
Yeah, I'm getting chewed on, babe. Thank you, baby. Hey, guys. Everybody needs a wife as awesome as mine. She's the best. Love you, sweetheart. Who else would sit out here like this with me whenever I'm grilling and smoking something, you know, and cleaning my smoker and do it happily and help me out? I mean, she's badass, right, sweetheart? I love you. All right, I'm going to get my stuff out and we're going to start cleaning that smoker up.
Let me turn on your mosquito repellent.
We did that cook yesterday. I did some pork belly burnt ends. Man, did those come out good. Holy smokes. And we did that in the offset. It was a couple hours. It took like four hours to do that, didn't it, babe? It was a good long cook.
Started at 10:30.
Roxanne, exactly. We got Roxanne. We're going to clean her up. Yeah, we started at 10:30 and we finished at 2:30. So yeah, 4 hours. And that ain't bad. And then we took her out and rested. Took the pork belly burnt ends out of the smoker and rested them for about 20 minutes. And then we munched out. So good, man. Our dinner last night was unbelievable. My wife made some rice. We went and got some.
Oh, he got mad. He said, "How insulting."
What?
Christopher, when you told him that we cannot open it. We just close it, Christopher.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. We can't open it. We just closed it, and I need it to build temperatures.
Yes.
It's cooking right now. My expert grill, you'll see it whenever it's time to open it. Whenever it reaches 140 internal temperature of that meat, and I'm sitting at 250 degrees, I'm going to open it up in order to spritz anyways. So you'll see it then, but I can't do it right now, man.
Yeah,
We just got it closed, and if I open it now, it'll allow
It'll drop
all that's
again.
already built up to escape, and I'll have to get it all built up again.
not that he
The
doesn't
heat,
want
the
it.
temperatures. So I'm sorry, man. I can't do it. I love my Brazos, man. She's a good smoker. But I'm sorry, man. I wish we could, but I can't right now. Not meaning to insult anybody. It's
Exactly.
just that I can't open it.
We'll drop the temperature, and it will take 2 hours to.
Get it back up there.
Get it back
You don't
up.
want that. If you're looking, you ain't cooking. Just keep that in mind. If you're looking, you ain't cooking. So I'm sorry, I can't do that for you. I wish I could, but I can't. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to clean this thing. You get to see me clean my offset smoker. We got the ribs going. That's going good. It's day after cook, so I got to clean. And this is what we're going to do. I'm going to set you up where you can see. Oh, dinner was freaking awesome. Good morning, Estella. How you doing? Good to see you. Estella used to be a hater. Now she's a lover. It's good to see you guys, man. It's always fun. Okay, let me get my smoker cleaned up. We did that cook yesterday on those pork belly burnt ends. So I got to clean it up. Now look at this. Take a look. You can see that smoke coming out of the expert grill. If you look, pretty good, pretty clean smoke. Looking pretty good, man. We're doing those beef back ribs today. We're doing them snake style in the expert grill. I did them a few weeks ago on my offset smoker, and I've done them like a bunch. I like the beef back ribs. I've never tried doing them snake method. So that's what we're giving a shot today. See how they come out. I got to tell you, we've done several things with the snake method now, several experiments. The first that I ever did, of course, was pork spare ribs. And every time I do those things, they come out fabulous. They're so good. As a matter of fact, I think it's quickly become our favorite way to do pork spare ribs, hadn't it, babe? Because they come out so good. I mean, juicy, tender, nice smoke ring, flavorful, just really good. And we did a pork butt. Now, the pork butt took a long time, and it usually takes about 4 to 5 hours to do the pork spare ribs with the snake method, so it's not a really super long cook. The pork butt, on the other hand, it was a 10-pounder. It took 10 and a half hours to cook that bad boy using the snake method. That was a long cook, but that thing came out good. It was really good.
But the brisket.
The next thing we did is we did a brisket on it. We got a little 13-pounder. By the time we trimmed it up, it was probably around 10 pounds. And we did it snake method. It took 6 hours to cook it. Unbelievably fast. And it was thoroughly cooked all the way through. It was tender and juicy. It was just right as far as that's concerned, but it had very little of a bark on it. It didn't have hardly any smoke ring. And the smoke flavor, it was there, but it was pretty faint. You could taste it. I mean, the brisket was good, don't get me wrong, but definitely not a snake method kind of way to cook. Not for brisket. It's great for pork spare ribs. You can do it with a pork butt. It didn't work out for me on the brisket. I might have to try it again just to see if that was a chimera, a screw up somehow. Somehow we didn't do it right. I don't know. And then we did some beef dino ribs. Now those came out really good, didn't they? They had a really nice smoke ring. They had good smoke penetration, good flavor. And I'm using the same snake on all of them, you know. What's the ambient temperature now? We're sitting at about, it's sitting at about 170 degrees ambient. It's building up slowly. It just takes time. That just takes a little bit of time. Once it gets up to 250, I'll adjust the vents. Right now, I have them fully open on the Expert Grill to get airflow in there, and they're going. Oh yeah, I got the lawn cut. You better believe it. I do it as, you know, at least once a week. It's just that we had some rain and it kind of delayed things a little bit and grew like crazy, and finally got an opportunity, so I got it cut. But here we go. I'm gonna clean my smoker up. I like to start on the firebox, and I'll always do the top down. Clean the hood first. That gets the ash and soot off of there, and it just falls into the firebox. You only got to clean it out once, you know. Clean it off. Get the edges really good. And it's really not that hard to do the hood. It's pretty quick, actually. Just takes a couple of minutes. Then after that, we're going to worry about the firebox. First, I'll empty out that fire tray. I'll empty that wood tray out of there. I grab that. This is the wood tray, and I'll empty that out. Throw it over there in the yard. That'll knock some of the ash off there. There we go. And then we'll start working on the inside of the firebox. First, I'll go ahead and shovel some of the heavy ash out of there. And I like to clean it after the cooks, the day after. By that time it's cooled down, and you don't have to worry about burning yourself. And you got to get that ash out of there, because that ash is caustic, and it'll start rusting the smoker out. And that's what you want to avoid.
What wood do you prefer to use?
Post oak, mesquite are my go-tos. One of my favorites that's really kind of hard to get because it's expensive and it's imported is cherry, but we don't get to use that very often. It's going to be used on special cooks, but yeah, those are my favorites.
That's his favorites.
Next, I'll get my 3-inch scraper out. This is just a paint scraper. Oh, and this little shovel. This is a little shovel I got off Amazon. The handle broke off. I need to glue it back on, but I still use it. It still works, so, you know, it is what it is. As far as my grill brush, this has 2 sides. Both are nylon bristles, a nylon scrubbing pad. It does have a metal scraper on it. I don't really use that often, except whenever I'm cleaning my cooking grate off. I'll use it to scrape the heavier spots on the cooking grate, but this is nylon, so you don't have to worry about metal getting into your food. Works great. This is actually a really good grill brush. I mean, I figured nylon wouldn't be anywhere near as good as a metal, but it's better. It works great. I don't have a problem with it. I'm going to scrape the stuff off the sides here a little bit. Knock it down in there. I do this after every cook. And the reason why I do it after every cook is because I don't want my smoker to rust out on me. I want it to last as long as possible. And this is the best way to help it do that. If you're not cleaning your smoker out, it's not going to last you as long. It'll be unhealthier to cook in also, so keep that in mind. You know, sweep out the heavy stuff. We've already got all that out of there, so we're going to sweep it all out now. Get all that stuff out. I don't have a shop vac, whether a wet or dry vac, any of them. I don't have one, so I don't use one. And this is such a small smoker, and it only takes a few minutes to clean it out anyways. It really doesn't justify the expense of buying one. So I'll probably never get one. I'll just do it this way. It's easy enough. Doesn't take long. And once you get all that stuff out of there, you want all of that charcoal out. You don't want that charcoal in there. That burned up charcoal is caustic. That ash is acidic, and it'll eat the metal up and promote rust. And that's the whole point of cleaning your smoker out. Keep it from rusting and corroding.
Okay. Put thick foil paper on the bottom.
I don't use foil to cook with, generally speaking, especially when you're putting a hot fire on it. Aluminum has a tendency to be associated with Alzheimer's and dementia and other brain disorders, so I don't use it to cook with, generally speaking, at higher temperatures. It's safe if you're going to be holding something in a warmer at under 200 degrees. So whenever I'm cooking at 200 degrees or over, I don't have anything to do with aluminum in anything I'm cooking with. So no, I don't line my shit with aluminum. And this is a firebox. You're not going to line your firebox in with aluminum anyways. Cook chamber, maybe. You can line the bottom of it, but I don't. It's easy enough to clean them up. I'm not lazy. I mean, that's for lazy people to do. So if you want to be lazy, go ahead. But I'm not, so I'm not.
We used foil yesterday, but
We used foil to cover the food.
to put it back in the smoker. But
Right. And that's on rare occasions
Rare
that I'll use
occasion, like-
aluminum to cook with. Very rare. And the only reason we did is because I don't have a Pyrex dish with a glass top yet.
we
Now,
were
as far
gonna
as
make
that hood is concerned, you saw what I did with it. I'm spraying canola oil on it. That's going to coat it. It'll protect it against rust. You can see what happened. It just disappeared. Cleaned that rusty color right off. And that's what you want. You want good protection. Put a good, thick coat inside your firebox.
What is your spritz? 50-50. ACV and water.
Correct. 50-50 ACV and water is my spritz. All right. Next, I'm going to hit the inside of the firebox. Again, canola oil. I mean, that's all it is. I'll hit this. You see that disappear.
Babe, this is clean already.
Huh?
This is clean.
Okay, good. Thank you, babe. And hit that a little bit more. There we go. We're going to hit the whole inside of the firebox. You want to hit every inch of it. The whole thing. Get it really good. Again, you want a heavy coat in there. This is to protect against rust and corrosion. Okay? Don't go easy on the inside of the firebox. Now, in the cook chamber, you don't need a heavy coat. But it's also not dealing with the extremely high temperatures of having direct fire touching it. So, there you go. There's that. So, a thick coat of the oil inside the firebox. You'll see how I do it once we get to the cook chamber. There we go. A good, thick coat. You want good protection against rust and corrosion in your firebox. Alright. Now we'll go ahead and get the fire tray. And I'll clean it off a little bit.
For spritz, it's 50-50, 50 ACV, and 50 water.
Yeah. They keep asking about the spritz. We're not even cooking anything yet. Why are they asking about the spritz? We'll worry about that when it's time, guys.
It says to each his own, because wrapping your meat up for tenderizing. We don't wrap foil. We use
Butcher's
butcher
paper. I use butcher's paper to wrap
Yes,
in.
we do wrap our meat, but not
Yeah.
with butcher
Not
paper.
with foil though. And it ain't to each his own. I have a problem. I don't want to get dementia or Alzheimer's, so I'm not going to use aluminum. If you don't care, go ahead, man. Go right ahead. I'm not telling you not to. You can use aluminum all you want to cook with, but just know that it has been associated with dementia and Alzheimer's and other brain disorders.
In long-term use.
So There is that. And there are argumentative sides to that story. You can find arguments going both ways. There are people say that that's false, and then there are others that say that it's true. I'm going to err on the side of caution, and I'm going to protect my brain. So, I mean, I don't care if it's true or false. I just don't want that risk in my life. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to clean this fire tray off now. Huh?
I said you wrap your meat, but we don't use foil.
Yeah, we do wrap it. We use butcher's paper.
Yes.
I think butcher's paper is better than foil anyways, because butcher's paper allows your meat to still breathe. And it even allows a little bit, tiny bit, not much, but a little bit more smoke to go in there. Aluminum doesn't. Another thing that butcher's paper allows is it allows moisture evaporation. It allows that moisture to get out. Aluminum doesn't. It seals it in there. That can cause a couple of things, like washing out of your bark. Aluminum foil tends to wash your bark out, whereas butcher's paper doesn't. So there's a lot of benefits to using butcher's paper versus aluminum.
Can you show the baffle plate inside the mod that you did?
Oh, I'll show it when we get there.
Okay.
This is my fire tray, the wood tray. Now this is modified. This isn't the way it comes. This is the one that comes with it. I just changed it. Number one, I put that bend in it. I put it on the edge of my patio and I stepped on it, put a lot of weight because this is really strong, man. And I finally got it to bend, and that managed to drop it 2 inches down into the firebox, which is good. I mean, it really helped. It also helps airflow. And then the other modification is it's got these slots already, right? But it doesn't have these holes. So I took a 1/2-inch drill bit and a pretty good strong drill and some WD-40 to keep that drill bit from burning up, and I drilled all these holes in it. And that really increased the airflow. This thing does really good for controlling fire now. I mean, it maintains the shit out of a fire. Oh, I gotta go ahead and oil the backside of it a little bit. And this one is kind of important to get a good coat on too, because this one handles your fire directly. This is what the fire is actually built on. So it'll rust a lot if you don't take care of it. And you can watch that that charcoal tray disappear in front of your eyes if you're not taking care of it. So we're going to hit it really good with the oil on both sides. Now I get people that disagree with me on cleaning your smoker out after every cook. I don't care. You take care of it the way you want to. This is the way I take care of mine. And in 6 months from brand new, we'll see how much better my smoker looks than yours, if you're not doing this after every cook. See what it looks like? There's no rust. None. There's no rust in my firebox. It's in perfect condition. This smoker is over a year old, and it's got well over 100 cooks on it. So this is proof positive that keeping your smoker clean helps to protect it, and keeping it coated and seasoned properly with a good cooking oil like this helps to protect it against rust and corrosion. Proof positive, 100%. I see very few smokers with as many cooks on them as this one that are even 6 months old that look as good as this. Very few, because people don't know how to take care of their smokers.
Why oil the firebox?
To keep it from rusting and corroding. I'm going to hit this in just a little bit. I'm not going to worry so much about the outside of it, because the outside of it is seasoned pretty well. Main thing is the inside, and I do hit the outside a little bit in the spots that tend to get burned up a little bit more. Like, we got that inside cleaned up, the fire tray is in there, but you see this? You see this on top of here? Okay, that needs to be hit with the oil. It's a thin spot in the seasoning, and that's because it gets all of the fire, the heat just goes up. You know, fire heat goes up, and it really cooks the top of the firebox. this gets really hot. That's why it's good for preheating your
Yeah,
wood.
it's canola oil, guys,
It's
from
canola
Walmart.
oil. This is canola oil.
From Walmart.
Yeah.
It's cheap. It's
$2.50 a
$2.50.
can.
But it's up to you what you all gonna.
You can use whatever you like. Now, I would advise against flaxseed oil. I would advise against linseed oil, and I would advise against mineral oils. Those are all toxic. Sure, you're putting them on the outside of your smoker for this, but damn sure don't put it inside the cook chamber or the firebox where it can burn up and get in your food. That stuff is poisonous, and you don't want to use it. I just don't use that stuff. Even when I'm seasoning my smoker, I still use this. When it's time to re-season my smoker, and it's almost that time, you'll see that I use this on the outside too. I stay away from linseed oil, flaxseed oil, and mineral oils because they are toxic. And this thing is not perfectly sealed. That stuff, you spray it on the outside, sure, but it can still get through the door sides and get into the cook chamber on your cooking surfaces. And it's toxic. You don't want to use that, so I don't. This is what I use, even whenever I'm doing a re-seasoning on my smoker. That's another can to use. But if you want to use avocado oil, or if you want to use olive oil, or if you want to use beef tallow or pork lard, you can use those. I just like to go cheap and use the canola oil because it's inexpensive, and I do it so often. Why should I use an expensive oil when it's not really going to benefit it in any way? Because that's not what you're cooking with. You're cooking with the wood and the seasonings that are directly on your meat. This is just helping maintain the seasoning on the smoker. Now we're going to get to inside the cook chamber. This is the hood. This is the cooking surface. Then we've got all of the inside. There's not a lot of drippings because I used a pan with those ribs yesterday, those burn-ins, so there's not drippings inside there, but I am going to scrape it out anyways because I don't want that creosote and that ash to be in there. So I'll still clean it out. But I'm going to start at the hood again, top down. We're just going to scrape all that off there. There's not going to be a whole lot because it was a really short cook. It was only 4 hours, and that makes it a lot easier, of course, and quicker for certain. And there we go. So we're going to get all that creosote off there. The reason why I like to do it after every cook is because if you don't, that creosote will build up over time and it'll get really heavy and thick. Then it starts getting dry and crusty and it can fall in your food. It'll just flake off the top and fall in your food. Creosote is toxic. It's nasty. It'll make your food taste bad and it can make you sick. So you don't want that happening. Get it off there. Just take a couple of seconds and scrape it off. I mean, that's really all there is to it. It's really easy to do. So why not? I mean, if it's easy, it doesn't take but a couple of seconds, why not do it? I mean,
What smoker do you have, babe?
this is the Old Country Brazos. Okay, after getting that hood, I'm going to go back to my grill brush. Again, this is nylon on both sides, nylon bristles and a nylon scrub pad. I don't really use that scrub pad. And then it has a metal scraper. These things are perfectly safe. They're not going to get in. They're not going to leave any metal shavings that's going to get in your food. And these don't stick around either. These things hold on to it. As a matter of fact, in my opinion, this little $5 brush from Walmart is one of the best that you can use.
That's flavor.
No, that's not flavor. That's creosote, and creosote's bad. No flavor is coming off of this smoker during the cleaning. Trust me, it's not happening. Now I'm going to clean the cooking grate off.
Oh, Ratchet Bird, he said the sealer fell off one side of the lid. Gotta install a new one on mine.
Alright, there we go. And
What is the stall on dino ribs?
what?
What is the stall on dino ribs?
The stall on all meat, is around 155 to 165 degrees internal temperature. That's whenever the connective tissues start breaking down and it starts evaporating the moisture, the water moisture inside the meat. And that's what creates the stall. And it usually depends on how thick the meat is, like pork spare ribs or even these ribs. The stall is only like 15, 20, maybe 30 minutes at the most. Whereas if you get into a thicker piece of meat like a pork shoulder or pork butt, you're probably looking at an hour and a half to 2 hours, maybe even a little bit longer for the stall on those. And a brisket, you're looking at the same, an hour and a half, 2.5 hours on the stall. Just depends on how thick it is, and what temperatures you're cooking at too. That has a lot to do with how long the stall will be. But clean the top of the cooking grate, flip it over.
Yeah, moisture content.
The bottom of it.
And show it to them your baffle plate later on, okay, babe?
I gotta take it out and clean it.
Alright. If someone asked about it a while ago.
Give me a sec to clean this off, and as soon as we get this out of the way, we'll be cleaning the baffle plate anyway.
It's not a brisket. He has a beef back ribs, but he's doing it
Snake style.
steak style inside the expert grill the first time, because we did it already with Roxanne. So he's trying it the first time. Expert grill snake.
See how it turns out in the expert grill.
Yeah.
I'm expecting this to come out pretty good, actually. Okay, there we go. Turn it over. Hit the top one more time for anything that falls through on the second way. There we go.
Shadow, he said, my smoker is better. So Lagnat asked him, what smoker do you have?
There we go.
Maybe
There's
he
my
has
cooking grate.
a horse,
Nice and clean.
a workhorse.
Yeah, if you have a workhorse and
Then-
it's 1 inch thick, then yeah, it's probably better.
Better.
But if you're in the 1/4 inch range, no, you're not going to get much of a better smoker than this one. This is a good smoker, really good smoker. 1/4 inch thick steel, maintains temperatures like a beast. I don't have any problem cooking this thing. Every time I cook with it, people say, "Oh, your fire is too hot," but it never is. I mean, it cooks where I want to. My cooking ranges are nailed in. I know how to get where I want it. So now, people that were asking about this is my baffle plate. This is the plate that goes inside the cook chamber. It goes right here by the firebox. This thing does a couple of things. The main reason they put it in there is to protect the cooking chamber from the excessive heat of the firebox, and it does a good job of that. This is one of the reasons I can build a fire the way I do and maintain temperatures like I do, because this will protect the firebox from, the cook chamber from the firebox. And then I made some modifications to it. I still have that protection, whereas I can direct the airflow now a lot better. See, before, when you put it in, it sits like that, okay? It sits right here in the end, and this is where it goes, okay? Sitting right here. The way it's designed, it's solid. It doesn't have those modifications. It just directs heat underneath, and that's it. And it has a hot spot right in the middle where it comes up. That limits your cooking range. This is where you can cook on. This side, not so much, and then your hot spot right here is where you can put a little bit of extra toast to your food that you don't need or want, okay? So you got to do something about that. Plus, it's the same way on the top cooking grate. This has 2 cooking grates. It has a lower and an upper. The same thing on the top. You're going to have a hot spot right here. You're going to have your cooking area on this side, and on this side it's a lot cooler, not so much of a cooking space on both of them. It's a lot cooler. So modify it. It stops that problem. This notch I cut in there, it's 8 inches long by 3/8 inches thick, and then I drilled these holes in it with a hole saw, a 1.5 inch hole saw, and they're 3 inches on center, all of them, okay? And divide this in thirds, draw your lines, find your center, go 3 inches on either side, find the center here, 1.5 inches these way and this way, and then 3 inches, and then drill your holes. and it comes out nice and even and beautiful. And this right here, what it did, it stops that problem of just having airflow in one area with a hot spot. Now there isn't a hot spot anymore. It directs heat up and over the top cooking grate with that notch in the top of it and these holes in it. Directs heat and smoke to the middle of the cook chamber, and it still gives me some heat and smoke going to the bottom. I have totally even temperatures all the way across. It's like there's no hot spot anywhere on it anymore, but there is a 10-degree heat differential from this end to that end. It's about 10 degrees warmer on this end than it is that end. And it's about 20 degrees warmer from the cooking grate, the lower cooking grate, to the upper cooking grate, which isn't bad at all. Of course, heat rises, so it's going to be a little warmer on top than it is on bottom. But that really did give me really even temperatures throughout the cooking chamber. Just doing those modifications, that worked and helped a lot.
Okay, Old Country Angus is my dream smoker, Ratchet Bird.
The Old Country, what?
Here.
I don't think I've heard of an Old Country Angus. This is the Old Country Brazos. I'm going to have to look up the Angus. I don't think I've heard of that one, but
Are you growing your hair out? Brian is asking.
no, it's growing on its own. I don't have to do anything to it. That's all natural. I just haven't cut it in a while. But let me go ahead and clean. I'm going to clean that smokestack out first. Get the ash and soot and stuff that falls in it from the trees and everything, you know. And get that all out of there. There we go. Nice. Okay. Now I'm going to take my scraper and I'm going to hit the sides of it. Okay. We've already got the cooking grate taken care of. Now I'm going to go ahead and get the soot and ash off of the sides here.
Rob is asking what wood for him, Michigan, where it's cold.
Is what?
What wood he can use for in Michigan that is cold.
I don't know.
Michigan,
I don't know
what
what's
they
available
get.
to you there, man. I really don't. I mean, Rob knows. I mean, you're going to have to figure it out. You're going to have to go and find woods and then cook with different woods until you find the woods that you like. That's all you could really do. I mean, I had to do the same thing. I ended up with post oak and mesquite being my favorites. And when I get a special cook, I try to get a hold of some cherry. It's still kind of hard to get.
I think Rob has cherry in Michigan.
Huh?
Michigan has cherry wood.
I'm pretty sure. I know we don't have it in Texas because it's not a tree that grows very good here. It doesn't like the climate.
Do you have a gasket around the door?
What I have around the door is lava lock. I don't have the gasket. I took it off because it wouldn't let the door close. Whenever I first got it, the first modifications that I made, besides the baffle plate, cutting those holes in it and everything, and cleaning the steel out of my smokestack, was putting the lava lock high temp felt gasket around the door all the way around. It wouldn't close properly. It
Okay.
wouldn't close up, so I had to take it off.
What diameter is your stuff?
The good thing is that I had the lava lock sealant, the high temp 450 RTV barbecue sealant, so I put that around the door. Then I sprayed some oil all the way around the edge so it wouldn't stick. Closed it up. It fashioned the seal, and it's been holding ever since for a year. I've never redone that, so pretty good stuff there. That lava lock is.
What diameter is your stack? Is Brian asking.
5.5 inch diameter, and the height with the smokestack extension is 31 inches from the elbow up to the top of the elbow to the top. It's 31 inches. Without the extension, it's 16 inches. So this is a 15-inch extension. That gives me 31 inches. The cook chamber is 40 inches. So 31, 40. This thing is 3/4 the length of the cook chamber, which is what they're supposed to be,
Okay.
according to the experts.
Smoking Hammer, he answered what is Old Country Angus. It's a barrel style barbecue pit. It's a 3/16-inch stick still.
What, the Angus?
Yes. It's a bar.
3/16?
Yeah, it's a
So it's a
barrel.
little bit more than a quarter
Yeah.
of an inch.
Yeah, it's a bar pit.
It's a barrel pit, so
Yeah.
it's not a smoker.
No.
Okay. Well, I want the smoker. If I want to get a grill, that sounds like a pretty good grill to get, actually.
Yes, I know.
3/16 is a little bit thicker than this because this is a 1/4 inch thick steel.
I don't know how much is that.
They're probably pretty expensive. We can look it up. An Angus, huh? That's the Angus. All right. I have to keep that in mind because that sounds like a pretty good deal there. 3/16 of an inch thick.
Oh, he is. He has one going on right now on his expert grill. It's beef back ribs. First time doing it snake method. He did that already with Roxanne, so now he's trying it with the
We've done a lot of those beef back ribs in this.
Roxanne. Yeah, so now
It's time to give it a shot inside the expert grill. with
expert
the
grill
snake method, see how it
snake
comes out.
method. Yes. Brian said 3/16 is less than a quarter. A 1 1/4.
3/16 is less than a quarter.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. That's
Oh, my
between
God.
that's between an eighth and a quarter. You're right.
Where is your math?
3/16. I don't know. I was thinking it was a little
Now
bit
he's
more. 2/16 is 1/8. 3/16 is like halfway between an eighth and a quarter. So you're right. That my math is fucked.
that's what he gets.
And you know what? I actually did really well in math in school. Geometry, algebra, trig, and calculus.
You forgot
I took
already.
those four all the way through high school and got nothing but straight A's. And
No, you can't remember?
now my math is shit. Of course, you know, that was 50 freaking years ago. 45 years, something like that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and wipe everything down now. Just wipe the surface off. Just get the heavier stuff that didn't come off with the scraping. And again, man, for those that think that this is removing seasoning, it is not. Don't forget that temperature probe. You definitely want to wipe that off. You want that to be accurate. You want to be able to keep accurate temperatures of your cooking timber. That's for sure. We wipe everything off, the rails. Wipe the ends off a little bit. Make sure that's wiped out again. And it's really not hard to do this. People that complain about cleaning their smokers, 20 minutes is all it takes. It's not hard to do. It's worth it. It keeps your pit in good shape. It keeps the unhealthy stuff out. It keeps the good stuff in. This actually helps to preserve your seasoning. It doesn't destroy it. It does not mess your seasoning up. It does not remove your seasoning. It actually helps to preserve it. Keeping your smoker clean keeps the good stuff in and the bad stuff out.
Okay, 2,700.
What?
The
Angus?
yes, smoking hammer is.
That's kind of high for a thinner steel than this, and it's just a grill. Wow. That's kind of expensive. I don't know if I'd get that, babe.
You ever rub real onion in your grates before grilling?
No, I don't.
Thank
I might
you.
do that whenever I'm grilling on my grill, but not in my smoker.
Thank you, Smoking Hammer.
Okay, here we go. Now I'm going to hit the inside of the smoker with a little bit of that cooking oil. This is just going to get a light coat. Not quite as heavy as is in the firebox, because you know you're not going to get the rusting and corrosion that you do. It doesn't have to endure the extremely high heat of an actual fire being inside of it. Now this end does. It gets pretty freaking hot. So you have to put it a little thicker on this end. But as far as the rest of it, not so much.
What do you use to
Just a
clean?
thin coat the rest of it. This is what I'm using to spray it down. This is canola oil. Gonna hit it on the inside. Just a nice light coat on the rest of it. That's all it needs. You don't need anything heavy inside the cook chamber. There you go. And that's it. I'm gonna get the baffle plate. I'm gonna hit it. It's gonna get a little bit heavier than the rest of the cook chamber does, because this does endure a lot of heat from the firebox. And this is our little directional heat exchanger. Okay, got that sprayed down.
And
Put it back inside here.
it works.
There we go. And you can see where that goes. It goes right there in the end. That's where the raffle plate goes right here. All right.
And that includes shipping.
Oh, it does it?
Uh,
Yeah. That's still kind of expensive for a grill. Especially a grill that's thinner than this. You know, and doesn't have a firebox on it for smoking. It's just a grill. I don't know if I'd pay $2,000 for something like that. Hell, a Santa Maria grill doesn't cost that much. There we go. And I'm going to hit the cooking grate with a little bit of this oil too.
oh, Academy is selling it for 2,000.
What's
Yeah,
that, Angus?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not going to get one. I got my grill. I'll just stick with what I've got. And there we go. It's done. That
Yeah,
smoke is
he's
clean.
just cleaning after the cook, but he's cooking right now
Okay, that's done.
in the expert grill.
The offset is cleaned. She is all finished. Good stuff there, huh? Let me wipe that shelf off a little bit. And there we go. Nice.
Okay.
Don't worry about spraying the outside of the cook chamber because it's not going to need it. It's not time to reseason it. And if you spray the outside of the cook chamber, it's just going to get really sticky anyways. And you don't want that. You want to have that nice finish on it. When we get ready to reseason it, things will be different. We'll check that out. But yeah. The smoke enters opposite the firebox. Oh, you're talking about a reverse flow. Never used one. I've only ever used a standard flow smoker like this one, a standard offset. That's all I've ever used.
Wipe it on your elbow. Please.
So
all of it.
I can't give you an answer to that. I don't know. Just like I'm not crazy about pellet grills, I'd rather have a Weber kettle or a Weber Smoky Mountain or even one of those new Spider Grills Huntsman or a Kamado Joe or a Big Green Egg than I would a pellet grill, because you're going to get real smoke flavor out of all those others, and the pellet grill isn't going to give you quite as much. Now you can cook more in a pellet grill than you can the rest of them, but it doesn't give you the smoky flavor that a pellet grill does. But here you go. There we go. It's all cleaned up. Now let's keep an eye on our grill.
Now we can answer your question.
All right, guys, I'm back.
I'm gonna go get the fan.
Okay, baby, appreciate it because it's hot. And that might help keep these a little cooler too. And we are cooking in there. And my internal temperatures on my meats, we're a little bit over 100 on each of them on the internal temperatures. And my ambient is around 220. So we're doing good on that. They're actually going up in temperature pretty good. I mean, they've been in there for 45 minutes. So that's not bad. I mean, we're getting good airflow, good temperature. Let me go ahead and open that up a little bit. Close this off a little bit so I can get some cross airflow. And slow down the increase of that temperature a little bit. I don't want it to get too hot too fast, because for the first couple of hours, or first hour, hour and a half, I want it to absorb that smoke, and I want that smoke ring to develop a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And so we're going to slow that temperature down just a bit. And this is my spritz that I'll be using later on. This is apple cider vinegar. And this is a 50-50 mixture of water and apple cider vinegar. But that's what we'll be using later on. We have been on here for an hour and 15 minutes now, guys. And we've done two things. We got that grill's fired up, and we got those ribs seasoned and thrown on there, and we got my smoker cleaned up. All in an hour and 15 minutes. That's not bad, I'm telling you. What's on the grill? We got some beef back ribs in there. Some really nice 2 racks of beef back ribs. We're doing them snake style. Yeah, we got a snake built in there. We got 2 really nice racks of beef back ribs in there, and they're going. I gotta go inside real quick. I gotta answer. You know, nature's calling, so I gotta answer. I will be back, guys.
And it's too loud. Let me pull it back a little bit. My goodness. That's loud.
Yeah, put it right there. It doesn't have to be right on top of me. There you go. All right, guys, I'm back. Oh, I forgot something. All right, guys, I am back. How are you guys doing? Here we go. Texas barbecue, absolutely. Potato salad, with those beef backs, probably. It's probably a good idea. I'll get my wife to make up some potato salad in a little while. We got some potatoes, and we've got some pickles, and we've got some mayonnaise, and we got some mustard, and we got all this stuff to make a good potato salad. So yeah. What's up, John? How's it going, man?
Can you move a little bit forward? Look. Look, it's uneven.
All right, I'm really not worried about uneven. I was comfortable.
Yeah, but you will turn the chair.
Have I heard of a tip-top temp? Can't say I have. Tiggs, don't know. Don't know. But yeah, we've got a really good cook going on in here, and somebody said it's time for a high life. I couldn't agree more. As a matter of fact, I need to open it. Look, it's still got a cap on it. What am I gonna do, man? How the hell am I gonna open this beer? Because these twist offs will tear your hand up, man. They're terrible about. Oh yeah, I forgot. I got a bottle opener on my grill. All right, let's go. Here we go. How about that? Nice. I love that, man. Absolutely Texas barbecue. You bet. Okay. How many briskets can I cook in my offset? I could do 3 smaller, maybe 12-pound briskets after being trimmed, or 2, 15 to 18 pounders on that offset. Now the pork ribs, I can do 6 racks of pork ribs because I can put an upper cooking grate in there. Now there's not enough room for the cooking grate to do a brisket, but plenty of room to do 2 more racks of pork spare ribs, and then I can put 4 on the bottom, and I can do 6 pork butts on it pretty comfortably. So it'll do quite a bit. I mean, it's not bad. I know, very convenient. I do like it. Yeah, well, maybe you got to put it on there. I don't know. You might have it on upside down. So take it off and put it right side up and see if that fixes it, Mayo. I never have a problem with it spilling my drink.
Can you try to charge? Maybe it will, because it's not that very hot today.
No, it's not. Today's not a really hot day like it has been.
So yeah, try it. Maybe it will charge.
There we go. Oh, that worked. It's charging. There we go. Okay. Yeah. Now at 11:30, I will be an hour and a half into this cook. I came on at 10 o'clock, okay? A little bit before, actually. So at 12, I'm going to bounce so I can let my phones cool down and charge up. And that gives us 30 minutes to sit here and chit-chat and do whatever, you know. We did quite a bit this morning, man. We got my expert grill started up. Now, I already had the snake built inside of it. Thank you for following me, Country Mill. What's up, Matt? Yeah, I already had the snake built, and I already had the wood chunks on there, and I already had my water pan in there and ready to go, and I already had my fire starters on the end of the snake. So all I had to do was really light those fire starters and let it go. And it's been, we got that done at 10 o'clock, and then we got those beef back ribs out of the packages. I got 2 racks. We seasoned them up, and I put my Temp Spike Pros in there, and then we let them sit in the seasoning for 20 minutes to absorb the seasoning and for that salt to activate and pull some moisture out to the surface. And then once they did that, at 10:30, we got those beef back ribs on that smoker, on that grill, and got them going. They're smoking snake style. Now after that, we swapped over to my offset because we did a cook yesterday, okay? We cooked some pork burnt ends, and so I needed to clean my smoker. I always clean it the day after I cook, every single time. So we cleaned up my smoker, got it all good, and got the firebox set up right, got the cook chamber cleaned, and it's in perfect condition and ready for the next cook. And we did all that from 10 o'clock to about 11:15 is whenever I finished cleaning my smoker out. So for an hour and 15 minutes, we got quite a bit done. Now it took me a little while longer to clean my smoker than it usually does because we stopped and chit-chatted. People asked questions, I answered them. I showed them some of the modifications that I did on it. You know, took a little bit more time than I would if I just cleaned it. Usually only takes me about 20 minutes to clean it, but it took about 45 minutes to clean it up. Maybe a little less, maybe 40 minutes, 35, 40 minutes to do it. But still, you know, it's worth it. And very important to keep your smoker clean. You want it to last, and you want the food coming out of it to taste good. So there you go. For some reason, people still think that it messes up the seasoning when you clean your smoker out. No, it doesn't. It'll mess it up if you use water and soap and solvents to clean your smoker out. But if you just use a grill brush and a scraper, it ain't going to do anything to the seasoning in your smoker. What products do I use to clean my smoker with? A grill brush, a little dustpan shovel type thing, 3-inch paint scraper, and a little hand broom. That's what I use to clean my smoker out. And then I give it a nice little spritz of canola oil to keep it protected. I do not use any water or cleaning products, chemicals, or anything like that to clean my smoker out. And I clean it after every cook. I've had it for over a year. It's got well over 100 cooks on it. Let me show you what it looks like. Let's go take a look at that bad boy. This is my offset. We'll look at the cook chamber first. You see it? Nice and clean. There's the baffle plate underneath the cooking grate. It's clean all the way across. You see that? The door is clean. I don't have any buildup of creosote and ash. That stuff's nasty. It'll build up and fall in your food. And here's my firebox. Take a look at that. No rust. You see any rust spots or any bad areas in there? Nope. It's because I keep it clean and I keep it oiled after every single cook. And that's what it looks like. There you go. And why is my phone jumping around? That ain't good. All right. But that's what my firebox looks like and my cook chamber looks like in my smoker. It's in good shape. I mean, it stays perfect because I keep it clean. It's a 54.5 inch or 54.5 gallon chamber. Okay, that's good to know. It's almost 55 gallons. So it's just a standard size backyard cooker. That's all. I know the cooking grate is 35 inches by 18 inches on the bottom, and the upper cooking grate is 35 inches by 8 inches. That's what I know. And that gives you quite a bit of cooking space. It's not bad. I mean, for a small backyard smoker like that, 1/4 inch thick steel, it's a pretty good smoker. It gives you plenty of cooking space for your family, you know. What do I rate this grill, the Expert grill, in a 1 to 10? I would give it a good 7 or 8. It's a good grill, man. I mean, I had my first one for 5 years, hundreds of cooks. Now, the reason why I ain't going to get a 10 is because that fire tray will rust out if you don't take care of it. I mean, the other one I took really good care of, and the fire tray still rusted out after about 5 years and hundreds of cooks on it. Okay, that's good for you, Steelio. We're smoking some beef back ribs. But yeah, I'd give it a 7 to 8. I mean, it's a good grill. It cooks great. It's very versatile. You can do a lot with it. It's not bad, you know. It's not a bad grill at all. But if you don't take care of it, that fire tray will rust out and disintegrate, and it'll do it in quick order. So you have to make sure you clean it and spray some cooking oil on it after every single cook. No more than 1 or 2 days after the cook. You need to do it as soon as possible, because if you leave that ash on there, that tray will just rot away. It'll just rust away out from underneath you, and it'll do it quick. What's my favorite smoker to use? I like my Brazos. I love that thing, man. Voidcaster, it's a good smoker. As far as it goes, now budget smoker, I had a Pecos, that $500 Old Country Pecos. I had it for 4 years, and I sold it so I could buy this Brazos. This is a $1,550 smoker, and for the money, you can't get better than that. This is probably the best smoker you can buy for under $2,500 easily. It's even better than a lot of $2,500 and more smokers, in my opinion. But it's my favorite. I like it. Now, if I could upgrade, there is one that I would upgrade to, and that's the only one I would upgrade to, and that would be a Workhorse 1975. Oh, you grilled a skirt steak. Very cool. With B&B lump. There you go. This is a big boy smoker. This is the real deal. 1/4 inch thick steel. A very good smoker. And this is it right here. That's my big boy smoker. That's my Old Country Brazos. This is my Expert grill. And right now it's the one that I'm using to do these beef back ribs in. I'm doing them snake style in there. And right now, they're going pretty good. Now, you know what? We're sitting at a point where I'm going to go ahead and rotate those things, and I'm going to give them a spritz. So let's go ahead and set up. It's that time. We're already sitting at about 240 on the ambient temperature, and they're already at 140 degrees internal temperature. So it's time to go ahead and give them a spritz, and we're an hour into the cook. So we got through an hour, and it got there. So yeah, it's not bad. You ready, babe? All right, I'm going to get some gloves on real quick because I am going to handle these things. I'm going to check them with my Javelin Pro Instant Read just to verify the internal temperatures. But they're looking good, man. Looking good. I am going to rotate them, and I'm going to spritz them. So we're going to do that. We're an hour into this cook, and they're going good. I'm going to spritz them, even if they're moist. I'm still going to spritz them, because that spritz, not only does it, you know, add a little moisture to the surface, but it'll help build that bark. Spritzing them actually helps with the bark a little bit.
What you smoking?
A little ganja, you know, the happy weed, good stuff. No, we got a beef back, 2 racks of beef back ribs in there. First, I'm going to rotate them, and then I'm going to give them a spritz.
Do you want them to see it?
Yeah, take a look at those ribs. Those are some pretty ribs. Look at those bad
starting
boys.
to shrink now.
That's some really good color on them. Those are really nice.
And the fire, where you at on the fire?
And look at where I am on the fire. We're about back to that corner right there, and this is an hour in. So I would imagine that I have about 5 hours worth of cook on here. Not bad. I don't think it's going to take 5 hours to cook these ribs. I think we're probably looking 3 to 4 hours, because they're cooking pretty good. I mean, they look really good. Those are beautiful. What's in the spritz bottle? That's apple cider vinegar, 50-50 mixture of apple cider vinegar and water.
Okay.
But yeah, that snake is going perfect. Yeah, really nice color.
Start dripping that thing. Hold on there.
Yeah, they're looking good. Beautiful ribs, man. Those ribs look good, man. Whew, they smell good too. And they're cooking really nice. Thanks for the heart, Brew Hall. Thank you. The reason why I rotated them is because, you know, the fire is on this end still. It's burning around. It's burning nicely. It's back in that corner finally. So it'll start burning this way. But it's been cooking this rack of ribs on that end since we started. So I wanted to switch them so that they both cook evenly. They get even temperatures. And that's really a good way to do it, you know. You want them to cook evenly. You want nice and even temperatures. And that's a good way to get it.
They don't charge no more, babe.
It won't? Huh.
What time is the next check?
We're gonna check them at 170 internal. No, Mayo, the snake method has to be consistent in temperatures. It won't work with like lump charcoal. So what you need to do is you need to find an all-natural briquette like B&B, Fogo, Cowboy Brand, Jealous Devil, or Meat Church, or something like that. You need to find an all-natural charcoal briquette. And I'm using B&B. That's my favorite. I seem to get really good consistent temps out of it. As you can see, it burns nice and evenly, and we're doing good shit there. What's advice on wings on a charcoal grill? Have fun. Just grill them and keep them flipping. Keep turning them. Try to give them a little bit of direct fire, but roll it down to where it's not just burning them. You want those flames just barely licking those wings, and just keep flipping them and flipping them and flipping them. And then move them over to the indirect side and let them sit there. You need a direct and an indirect side too. You want to get that nice little char on them at first. So flip them and flip them and flip them until you get to about, I don't know, 140 degrees, 135 degrees internal. Then take them off of the direct heat side and put them on the indirect side and let them get to 165 internal. Take them out of there, sauce them up with whatever you like, and enjoy. But that's how I would say doing it, you know. that's what I would do. But my wife wants to do them some. She wants to do them some of. She wants to do them so we get a little bit of smoke. We're going to smoke them to about 130 degrees internal. Grill them a little bit, you know, and then once they've grilled a little bit, 130 degrees internal, we're going to take them out. We're going to put them in some buttermilk and marinate them in that buttermilk for about 20 or 30 minutes, and then we're going to put them in some batter. We'll put together a nice little batter that we like. Batter them up and throw them in the deep fryer until they're done, and they're really good. Can you spritz wings? Of course you can. Yeah, you can spritz wings. There you go. Am I going to put barbecue sauce on those ribs? No, Tammy, these are beef. They're not pork, and I don't use any kind of sauces on beef. Salt, pepper, garlic, onion powder, and ancho chili powder, and that's it. I might put some, whenever I wrap them, I'm going to put some beef tallow on them, but that's it. I don't use barbecue sauce on beef at all. And the sauce that I use on my pork is a honey bourbon glaze that I make. I do use a water pan in my Brazos whenever I'm doing something thinner. If I'm doing something like a brisket or a pork butt, no, because it has plenty of its own juice and it's not going to need a water pan, so I don't use them in there. But I will use a water pan. What's up, Bandit? How's it going? I'm glad you made it, man. I hope your brother's okay. I use a water pan for certain cooks. If I'm doing ribs, thinner or smaller pieces of meat, something like that, yeah, I'll use a water pan. But if I'm doing a really thick piece of meat with a thick fat cap like a brisket or a pork butt, no, I won't use a water pan for those. Good to see you, Bandit. Spend some time with your brother, man, and enjoy all the time that you have left with him. And my prayers are with you. May God travel with you also. It's good to see you though, Bandit. Really good to see you. Thanks for coming by. I appreciate you taking the time to stop in and say hi, man. Like I said, at noon, we're going to bug out for a while, and we're going to keep these things going. What's the difference between the Brazo and the Pinko? If you're talking about the Brazos and the Pecos, there's two main differences. Three, actually. Number one, the baffle plate in the Brazos in the Pecos is welded in, and you can't take it out unless you cut the welds off. You have to work with it in place. And the Pecos doesn't have the upper cooking grate. The Brazos does. And then the biggest difference is the thickness in the steel. The Brazos is a 1/4 inch thick steel, and the Pecos is about 1/8 of an inch thick steel. So the Pecos is half the thickness. They're both really good smokers. Other than that, they're pretty much the same size in every other dimension. The cook chamber is about the same length and diameter. The cooking grate may be about an inch longer in the Pecos on the bottom. The firebox is about the same size, and the grill inside the firebox is about the same size. So about all that same stuff. Bizarrio, what's going on? No problem, Bandit. No problem, man. Oh, you're stuck in dead stop traffic in Pittsburgh. Sorry, man. That sucks. I don't think that the Pecos is a waste of money, Drew Stahl, because I had one for 4 years and I loved that smoker. I never had a trouble with it. I upgraded to the Brazos because I just outgrew my Pecos. But if you want to get a good beginner smoker that'll teach you fire management, will last and give you many years of good service out of, Pecos is a good way to go. It's a really good smoker for $500. It beats the shit out of an Oklahoma Joe or a char griller by a long shot. It's thicker steel. It's all welded construction. It's a very good smoker. Whenever I sold mine, it was still in great condition. It had many years left in it. Well, the Wrangler is a much shorter smoker. The cook chamber is shorter. It has 2 cooking grates as well, but it's also made out of 1/8 inch thick steel. It's a thinner steel and a shorter cooking. It's not the same as a Brazos. Hey, sweetheart, let's go ahead and get Evan out of here. We got a scammer coming in, so get him out, babe. There we go. I got rid of him. Do I have any mods to the Pecos that I recommend? Yeah, I would recommend cutting the holes in the baffle plate like I did with my Brazos, a 1.5 inch hole saw. I did the same thing with my Pecos. I did 5 holes across the top of the baffle plate and 4 across the bottom. I did some measuring and I got them exactly the same length apart. 3 inches on center, 1.5 inch hole saw, drilled them all in there. That was good. I cleaned the steel out of the smokestack exhaust port inside the cook chamber to the smokestack. I cut out all that extra steel, and that's all I did to it. I didn't do any other modifications. Of course, I put the gasket around the door and sealed it all up. But that thing was a good smoker, man. I really enjoyed that Pecos. I didn't have any trouble with it. All my cooks went great. It was a really good cooker. I loved it. The only reason I got rid of it was to upgrade to the Brazos. But it is not a waste of money. It's by far a better smoker than an Oklahoma Joe or a char griller. By far. And Bandit, you know, anytime, brother. Anytime. I just hope everything goes okay with you and your brother. Why upgrade if it was great? Because it's made out of 1/8 inch thick steel, and it's a little bit more difficult than the Brazos is to manage a fire in. Thinner steel means more heat dissipation, faster heat dissipation, and you have to stay on top of the fire quite a bit more, and you also have to make quite a few more adjustments during the cook. A thicker steel means fewer adjustments. I just wanted the upgrade. And the Brazos is $1,000 more than the Pecos. If you don't have $1,550 for a Brazos, $500 for a Pecos is a good deal. It's the same price you're going to pay for an Oklahoma Joe or a char griller. And you're going to get a much better smoker than either one of those. The one thing I like about them is the smokestack comes out in the middle of the cook chamber right at the main cooking grate level. It doesn't in the Oklahoma Joe or the char griller. It's in top of the smokestack. It's a much smaller smokestack, and it's much shorter than what's on the Pecos or the Brazos. What's the difference in using an offset and this one? Well, an offset uses all real wood. This is my offset. You see those splits underneath there? That's what's left over from yesterday's cook. 10-inch splits by 2 to 3 by 2 to 3 inches. Okay? And it uses nothing but wood. This is a charcoal grill. It uses charcoal. And I'm using the snake method to smoke on it. It's not an offset, so it doesn't use splits. And I do have some post oak wood chunks on the snake. That's going to give me the nice smoky flavor and help with that smoke ring. But There's a big difference in smoking on this. Uh, and the biggest difference is it's not going to give you as much of a smoke ring, although you can get one. It's not going to give you the smoky flavor you're going to get in an offset. You're going to get some nice flavor out of it, but the offsets you can't beat an offset for that smoky flavor and that smoke ring and that good penetration. Real wood is the best way to go, but this is just a really good way to do it. There is a difference in the Pecos and the Brazos, a big difference. The Brazos maintains temperatures like a beast. It does a lot. It is better than the Pecos by a long shot. There's no doubt about that. You're paying $1,000 more for it though. So it had better be better than the Pecos, you know? If you can afford it, it is better to spend the money on the Brazos than it is the Pecos. But if you can't, smoker to buy. Yeah, you can, but you're going to want to cook it all in. If you start in your smoker, finish in your smoker. If you start in your grill, finish in your grill. Don't try to switch from one to the other. That's not going to help you at all. If anything, you would want to start in your smoker to get that smoke ring and flavor. Because after 140 degrees internal, your meat's no longer going to absorb the nitrogen oxide. It's not going to react with the myoglobin anymore. And your smoke ring is done. It's finished. That's as much as you're going to get. So you start in your smoker and then move to the grill. That's called reverse sear, basically. You do that on something else. I mean, on a brisket, if you start in an offset, finish in an offset. If you're going to start in a grill, finish in a grill. It's better just start and finish in the same thing you're cooking with. No, I never got a chance to look at it, Lugnut. I was pretty busy yesterday, but I will. I have no interest in getting something that big. I don't need anything like that, you know. A 37-inch Weber. Are you kidding me? No problem, Mike. No problem. I'll take a look at it whenever I get a chance, though. I mean, it is intriguing, a 37-inch Weber. I'm telling you. I'm sure it did. I mean, I probably wouldn't even get a 26-inch. I'd probably just stick with the 22-inch because the 22-inch has all of the accessories. The 26-inch has much fewer accessories than a 22-inch does. And a 22-inch is all you'd ever need. Because if you do need more cooking space on a 22-inch, you can buy that barrel cooker attachment and you get like 2 or 3 more trays in it. And that gives you a lot more cooking space. Or you can buy the barrel attachment with the dome cage on top, and it comes with the hooks so you can hang pork spare ribs or other ribs inside of it. And you can hang 6 or 8 racks of ribs in that thing and smoke them all at once. So you can do a lot of stuff with a Weber, a kettle, a 22-inch. You know, there's a lot of things you can do with it. I've been trying to convince my wife to let me get one, but she's like, no. And the reason why she's like, no, is because she knows me. First opportunity I get, I would buy every goddamn accessories for that thing I could get a hold of. She just knows that I would do that, man. I'd go for the accessories. All right, guys, we got a little bit over 5 minutes left. I'm going to get out of here in a little bit. Oh, we're sitting at about, okay, we're in good shape. Let me do something real quick. I'm going to close this down a little bit. Close it down a little more. Got to control the temps. I don't want to get it too hot. I don't want them cooking too fast. They're cooking pretty good. And we're going to rotate them again when we check them. And I'm probably going to be checking them at about 2 o'clock or 12 o'clock. So we're going to be taking a look at them again. Okay, cool. I'm not going anywhere. We're going to be checking these things in a few minutes. I'm going to rotate them, and I'm going to give them another spritz. I don't want them to cook too fast. My ambient's already at 150 degrees, or 250 degrees rather. And my internal temperature on these is averaging 160. So they're at and through the stall. So they're going really good. Why would you want to prevent your chunks from flaming? I mean, you want that smoky flavor. And really, if they're inside there and that firebox and that thing like that closed up, they're not really gonna flame. Do I have an offset? Yeah, I've got my offset. It's right there. It's my offset. There's my Brazos. I'm just doing this cook in the expert grill. Oh, no live drag racing stream today. Oh, okay. They have live drag racing streams? I'm going to have to check that out, man. Yeah, got to have plenty of choices. The thing about those wood chucks is on the charcoal like that, they're not really going to flare up because with that thing closed, it keeps the oxygen at a low enough level that it doesn't flare up. And they're going to sit there and they're going to burn and smolder and give you smoke flavor. You can see what it looks like. It's not really dirty smoke, but it's just dirty enough to give that nice smoke flavor in there and help build that smoke ring and give you that bark that we're looking for. Okay. What's my favorite wood to use? Post oak and mesquite in that order. Post oak first and then a little bit of mesquite once in a while. And my very favorite, but it's hard to get to because it's not something grown in Texas and it's expensive here because it has to be imported, is cherry. Okay, I will, lug nut. I'll check that out for sure. Do I like master built smokers? Not really. I mean, they're not that great. I mean, they're along the lines of an Oklahoma Joe or a char griller. They're really thin steel. They're hard to maintain temperatures in. They're hard to keep a fire going in. They're in the same range. They're in the same price range and the same category and the same build quality of an Oklahoma Joe and a char griller. They're junk. I prefer something that's all steel welded construction, like an Old Country. If you're going to get a $500 smoker, get a good one. Don't buy a piece of shit. There is not a better budget offset smoker than the Old Country Pecos. A char griller, a master built, an Oklahoma Joe, they're not even a pimple on the ass of the Old Country Pecos. Not at all. What do we got on the pit today? Yeah, I've used peachwood, Jimbo. But what's on the pit today? We've got some beef back ribs going on it. Oh, that's how you came up with your chat name. Got you, lug nut. There you go. Well, if that's what you like, Drew Style, go with it. The bottom paint already burned off. Man, that sucks. Yeah, we still got a little bit of it left over. It won't take long to go away though. That pork belly was pretty dadgum good, man. And today we're doing those ribs. As a matter of fact, it's time to go ahead and set up and get ready to rotate and spritz them again. So let's get ready to do that. I'm going to check them this time with my Javelin Pro to verify the internal temperatures of them. But let's set up so y'all can see, and y'all can see where that snake is in the situation too. Hey babe, check time. Time to check the ribs, sweetheart. All right. As soon as my wife gets out here, we'll get this check on. We'll get them looked at. Oh, you're a barbecue enthusiast. I hear you. The smoking court barbecue. There you go.
You know what I forgot?
That's a good one.
My labs. My appointment is on the 11th, and I'm supposed to be doing my labs last Tuesday. That's why they've been calling me. So I think that's it. So she said just go to Lab Corp Monday, and then hopefully Dr. Aliman will see you Tuesday. I can go from work. It's just 15 minutes away.
Okay.
I totally forgot about that. Oh my God. I did not check what day is my appointment. She said, can you come today and do your labs? Oh, I'm really busy today.
Get some gloves on because I am going to have to move these things around, and they are pretty hot. So don't want to burn yourself, and that's what these cotton gloves are for. They're really good glove liners.
We'll remove a little bit because it's starting to get hot. We don't want this thing to.
Yeah. Then get these nitro gloves on. This protects against the liquid heat.
Okay.
So there we go.
It's so smoky.
It is. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's a good smoke right there. That's not real bad smoke.
And we did that before. It's not bitter or anything.
It's not going to smoke long enough to really worry about getting bitter.
Okay.
I'm going to check the temperatures first, the internal temperature, then we're going to rotate them, and then I'm going to spritz them.
Look at that pan. It's boiling. Let them see it. Here.
Okay.
Here, guys.
Hey, look at those ribs. Those ribs are beautiful. The color is really nice. Those are going to be so good. There we go.
Okay.
I'm using post oak is what I'm using, Paul. That's a really nice post oak. Yeah, I hear you, Drew. My wife is good about it, man. I'm going to give it closed up and keep it going. Oh, wait a second. Okay. See where we are with that charcoal? Okay, it's burned around the corner and it's burning back this way really good. And you can see, I mean, it flares up because it's open. Where if I close it down, the oxygen level will go way down and the fire will go out. So the flare-ups are no big problem, but it's burning really good. That charcoal's going good. It's burning right there in the corner. It's coming back this way already. So this is about an hour and a half in.
Okay, done.
That is beautiful. That's good. And where we are, where we're sitting on the internal temperatures, on average, is about 175. So we're already past the stall. It's through the stall,
I cannot do
and we're an hour and a half into this cook. So we got them on there at 10:30, and it's 12 o'clock now. So we're an hour and a half in. We're already at about 170 degrees internal. We're through the stall, and that's not bad.
I can't do labs anymore anyway because I already ate and all that stuff, babe.
Oh yeah? Okay.
After this.
How do I have my vents set up? I've got this one closed, and it's open about 10%. This one is opened about 20%. This vent over here is open about 20%, 25%, and this one is open about 10%. And that's because I'm trying to regulate those temperatures. That snake is doing really good. It's been rocking at 250 degrees, so my ambient temperature is really good. But there we go. All right, guys, I've got to get out of here. I got to let my phones, two things. I got to let them cool down, and I got to charge them back up. So I'll be back here. I would say give it about an hour, and we'll be back. We'll be back at 1 o'clock, and I'm pretty sure that it's going to be really close to time to get those ribs out of that smoker. If they get there in the temperatures before then, I'll come back on, and y'all will see me come on, hopefully. But I've got to get out of here. I've got to get my phones charged back up, and we've got to let them cool down a little bit. So I will be back at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's 1 hour from now. Come on back, guys. Those ribs look good. Man, they look good. The color is beautiful. But anyways, I'll be back, guys. Give me an hour, okay? See y'all then.